Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine Fry, and I'm the CEO and president of Mediafy Communications Group. I am here today with my dear friend, Tabitha Williamson of the Natural Beauty Nook, and we're going to discuss her business today, her personal experiences, and her overall general experience as a female business owner.
Yes.
All right, so Tabitha.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've known each other now for what? More than 10 years, I think. Yeah.
Definitely.
And you've been my skin esthetician, and you've been my my nail person, my hairdresser, everything. And now you've expanded your business, and you're going to do permanent eyeliner on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. So, okay, so tell me. I know all about your business, but the public out there, tell me about your business, and more specifically, what services do you offer your clients and what do you specialize in?
Okay. So the Natural Beauty Nook does everything from nails to skincare to hair. We even do advanced facials such as microdermabrasion, hydro facials. We do micro needling. We do nano needling. I like to do a lot of art with nails. I'm still expanding on artwork. And as far as hair, I love styling hair for proms, for weddings. I love to go on location for events. So pretty much everything dealing with beauty, especially the advanced. I'm always studying and picking up the newest technology.
Okay, and I know just from knowing you and spending time with you that you're constantly getting more and more education. You're constantly going to that next level.
Right.
And what is the most recent certification that you've acquired?
The most recent was the tattoo permit and license. So during COVID, I actually did all the studies. I traveled 2 hours away to get my year's worth of training for a certification through the state of Tennessee. Tennessee requires that you have a tattoo license for permanent makeup artistry. Many states, including Georgia, do not require certain licensures for the upper dermis. So in other words, if you do microblading, which is more surface work, you are not required to do the full tattoo license. But in Tennessee, it is required.
So you do the eyeliner, you do the microderma or microblading on the eyebrows.
And then I also do like lip blushing, which is like you don't have to put on lipstick. You may want to put on chapstick or something clear for hydration, but your color is there for at least 2 years or more.
One question I've had: if someone has a discoloration in their skin, can you cover that with
There is a procedure. I would need to get further training on it, but yes, there is a way to do foundation in these procedures,
like a permanent foundation that you could put over someone's face.
Yes, absolutely.
But that would cover their freckles.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So
and there needs to be more studies on that because long term, we want to make sure that we're safe within the skin with the tints.
Okay. So that would perhaps be further training that you would acquire.
Right.
I know you said that you're going to Orlando for some training, this month, isn't it?
Yeah. So every year there's a premiere show. That's an expo that takes care of anything from massage therapy training to any type of wellness, any type of aesthetics, any type of nail product. And we love going because it's really fun. It's like going to a gala and loud music the whole day.
Great fun. Yeah, I know you would ask me if I wanted to go, and I do, but unfortunately there's a prior commitment that I'll be attending. So, okay, so my next question is, what inspired you to get into, and I feel like you're a part of the wellness industry, what inspired you to get into this specific part of the wellness industry?
So as a preteen, middle schooler, it's kind of a sad story, but I don't feel bad about it at all. I was teased for having extra hair, facial hair. And I think at the time I didn't know it, but it's impacted me. And as I've matured in the beauty industry and had so much experience with cosmetic companies, over time, I decided I wanted to go into that industry because I had a great woman wax me when I was that young. And she did all the right things. There was no horror stories with her. And I really enjoyed how comfortable she made me feel and how much more confidence that gave me in school. So later on, I didn't intend on going into the beauty industry. I was more into teaching. But lo and behold, teaching is kind of the same personality type that you would have for the beauty industry. So I ended up going through beauty school. I had a daughter very young and I needed to make money right now. So that is one of those industries that you can graduate pretty early and have a future for yourself.
Yes, certainly. And I want to say to everyone that Tabitha did my makeup and my hair today. So what you're looking at is, this is Tabitha's work. So, okay. So in your career, what do you enjoy the most?
Out of all the things that I do, I would have to choose brow waxing, arching. There is this beautiful precision to measuring and mapping the brows to the facial structure and the eyes. And what brows do for the face is frame it as a picture. It changes the entire look of a person. You can make someone look happy or sad with the right or wrong brow shape. So with that in and of itself, you get pretty quick turnaround with the expectations, 30 minutes and you're done. And it just changes the person's attitude and concept about the way they look.
And it completely changes the way they look. I mean, I know when you take care of my eyebrows, it completely changes the way I look. Sometimes I don't even recognize myself.
Yeah.
And I always look better after.
Yeah.
And I feel better.
And refreshed.
Yeah. My eyebrows don't itch and it's wonderful. So, okay. Now, another very important aspect of what you're doing is anti-aging, and you have various anti-aging techniques. So could you tell me about your anti-aging techniques?
Yeah, so we don't call it anti-aging anymore just because there's a lot of conversation about that. I don't know exactly what I want to call it right now, but I can say that we are trying to improve our look and make our aging process a little more smooth and age with grace.
Age gracefully, right?
Yes. Yeah. And so our advanced aesthetics and skincare is mainly the microneedling. We've been doing microneedling with you for several months, maybe years.
It's been years. I think it's been now
2 years.
No, longer.
Longer?
It's been 3.
Wow.
3. Yes, 3 years.
And you've got beautiful smooth skin. You get compliments all the time.
All the time. People say, "Oh, you have such beautiful skin," and I always tell them it's because of Tabitha Williamson at the Natural Beauty Nook. Always, because it's true.
I appreciate it. So the microneedling is one way to start. You can also start with nano needling, which is it's exactly what you would imagine. They're tiny, tiny, tiny little micro diamond tips on a pin, as you would assume, and it basically vibrates on the skin, allowing the skin to have little perforations. So nanoneedling, you don't even feel. It's really painless, and it enables the product that we put on you, whether it's retinol, whether it's some type of anti-aging effect serum,
Yeah.
it's going to go in deeper into the tissue. Whereas if we're putting it just on top of our pores, it can only go so far and be absorbed. Obviously, if you go up a notch to microneedling, that goes even deeper. And we do need to numb the skin before we do that procedure, which, a lot of companies may not, but we always do to make it more comfortable for the client, and they can actually relax while they're getting needled. The recovery is not very long. It's anywhere from 1 to 2 days if it's done correctly, and your redness goes away within a few hours.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, once you've completed the process with me, typically by the next morning, I'm fine. I mean, maybe early afternoon. It's fine, and it's relatively painless. So. I have noticed in the shower to keep my face away from the hot water.
Right.
Yes, certainly.
You do want to avoid steam and anything hot. It's kind of like getting a little bit of a sunburn.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A minor
The
one.
first night.
So, in your opinion, and as a professional in this field, what is the most important thing a woman can do to slow down the aging process?
Well, slowing down the aging process, that's a great way to describe anti-aging product.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll adopt that. I would say, number one, staying out of the sun. I know sunscreen works to a certain extent, but in reality, how many times do we reapply that sunscreen every 2 hours? That's what's recommended. Doesn't matter what brand you're with, all of them only last a couple of hours. So wearing a sun hat, if you must be tan looking, maybe just get from the arms down, avoid the décolleté chest area, neck, and face. But I still would use sunscreen when you're out in the sun. We're now seeing sunspots and aging spots that are coming out from your teen years, and you're now 60 years old, and you're getting these spots all of a sudden. A lot of older folks call them liver spots. So unfortunately, that's going to be more painful service to remove. And I do have a procedure for that, and it is called the plasma pen. So you can get those things removed, but the sun inevitably, yes, we get vitamin D from it, but there are other ways to absorb vitamin D, and like through source protein from grass-fed beef and things like that. So there are ways to go about absorbing your vitamin D. You can even get shots and stuff for.
I just got a shot today.
Yeah. So there's other ways of absorbing vitamin D. But yeah, I think a person knows when they need some sun and when they don't. And 15 minutes here or there is not a problem. It's when you're literally baking out there and getting the sun damage.
So I know from my personal experiences with you, the plasma pen has been absolutely wonderful and a complete game changer for me. And having you remove the sun damage monthly, which is really what you've been doing, monthly, removing the sun damage I see the differences. The people around me see the differences. I can look back at pictures where I had sun damage. I had some on my cheek, and you removed it. It's gone.
Right.
So in terms of the plasma pen, and what is the other? You call it something else, also, don't you?
A lot of people do call it something different. They there's all different types of terms for the
what you call
low plasma,
low frequency.
Yeah, low frequency pen. So essentially, it's just burning the surface of the skin, it's a type of vapor that burns, and the person may feel pain, but they are also numbed, so there's little to no
pain.
Yes.
I've
zapped one on my hand without any numbing. So, I mean, if I can tolerate it, I'm super, super sensitive. But
I mean, I can personally attest that the plasma pen is absolutely wonderful.
It happens within seconds.
Yes.
So if you're removing a freckle or removing just a skin tag or a small little bursted blood vessel or something like that, you don't even count 2 seconds to hit those pieces.
I know that when I see some sun damage that has occurred, I feel peace in knowing it's not going to be there forever.
Yeah.
That you can remove it easily and that it'll be gone in
That's a good
week
point
too. Yeah.
I like that.
I don't have to worry about it. I know it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Where in the past, well, I did in the past think it was permanent.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
So what are things that women can do at home to keep their hair healthy?
Oh, okay. So we're going to hair.
Yes.
Hair is another whole category. Our pH level of our hair is different than our skin. So some things that a lot of people are doing is skipping the shampoo to every other day. Some people even skip the shampoo up to 3 days. It just depends on how much oil is naturally secreted from your scalp. If your hair is becoming flat and stringy, then you probably need to step up those shampoos, adjusting your conditioner when you do shampoo, and only concentrating on the lower half of the hair. So mid shaft to the ends should be applied the conditioners. But the biggest thing in the market right now for anti-aging, so to speak, the hair is using hyaluronic acid for the hair. And there are new products on the market that infuse hyaluronic acid.
And you're selling this?
I don't sell it, but I can give you great advice for some of the products out there.
Okay.
I wish I had my own products. But yeah, this is the newest thing. I know a really new concept is taking care of the scalp instead of the hair. The scalp is the quickest aging part of our skin versus the face. So if we can tighten and firm the scalp and treat the scalp with this condition, then we might get better benefits from our face, more lifted look, and healthier hair.
Now, I'm going to back up just a little bit. We were talking about microneedling the scalp.
Right.
And how that affects the face.
Right.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
I feel like, and this study is ongoing, but yes, I think that we are going to start doing microneedling on the scalp, definitely around the edges of the frame and behind the neck. It really will just depend on what the client can deal with as far as product on their scalp. And I do already have a back bar product to use for scalp therapy and hyaluronic acid that's made for the scalp.
Okay.
And I think that that's going to hit really big and help lift people. Because if you look at how surgeons do the lifting of the face, they use the back of the ear and close to the scalp area for their incisions and where they hook their strings. So I do think we're onto something like that, definitely.
We should do that next.
We should.
Yeah. Yeah, you should microneedle my scalp.
Pig.
Yes, I'm happy to be your guinea pig. Oh my goodness. All right. So as a woman business owner, what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest thing was desiring to rent from a suite owner and being asked to run my credit when they're not a bank. Instead of asking for previous rental suite owning, they just skip straight to how's your credit. And I do feel like being a woman had something to do with that.
Interesting. Okay.
That would probably be my most concerning. Obviously, I didn't pursue it or absorb much detail out of the fact because that was a turnoff from me and I didn't need that place. But mostly any rent that I've had has went very smoothly and with trusting people. I mean, I've been in the field booth renting since before COVID. So was that almost 5 years or something?
Yes, 5 years.
So, yeah. So, and each year I've expanded with the square footage that I have to offer for my clients.
And now you have 2 locations.
I do. I would like to expand from that. I would like to have a larger shop to have everything included under one roof.
And I know you've expressed to me your desire to purchase a building, maybe a home or a commercial building of some sort, and make it into your spa and combine both those locations under one roof.
Yes. It would make it so much easier because currently I'm going to one location for hair and one location for skin and nails. So
You're constantly driving between the two, and I know it can be inconvenient for you. Okay, so that leads into the next question.
Okay.
What are your future plans for your business? Like, let's talk 5 years.
Right. So 5 years, I see myself maybe taking care of the majority of the clients that I have right now, and having extra people working for me for newer clientele. And I want those individuals to learn from my specific training, hands-on, person to person, and train those people myself so that they're just as good as what my clients expect and what they've had from me.
So that would encompass teaching them how to use the plasma pen, teaching them how to do micro needling, nano needling, hair, nails. Would you teach them to do the permanent makeup also, or is that something they would have to?
Maybe. I also I desire to have an academy.
Oh, where you
eventually.
teach.
Yes.
Interesting.
So that would be really great, but that would be another establishment separate from me.
So that would
shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you would actually be able to offer an accreditation, like an accredited program.
Right.
Well, then you'd be getting back to the teaching that you had initially.
Exactly. Full circle.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you see your business in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself retiring a little bit. I'm always going to work. I am always going to work. I never want to stop, but I may taper down how many I'm getting at once. And I just want to have a full salon, a full service salon that caters to everything of your beauty needs. A one-stop shop that takes care of it all.
A one-stop shop that does everything.
Yes.
So the wellness industry, would you consider what you're doing to be part of the wellness industry, to be
absolutely?
Yeah, I do too. I think what you do is definitely part of the wellness industry. I mean, I guess traditionally in the past, I thought of the wellness industry as perhaps being exercise or nutrition, maybe massage. Yeah. But once I met you,
it opened your eyes.
It opened my eyes. I mean, I started to learn there's more to the wellness industry than just, going to see a counselor. I mean, I know that's part of the wellness industry or running, that there's more to it. And I remember the first time when you laid me down and you started working on my face, I thought, I've never had anything like this before.
Yeah.
Never. And it was the most peaceful feeling that the most peaceful thing I'd ever been through. I remember the first time when you did the micro needling, the first time I remember thinking it did hurt the first time, but the second time, strangely, it didn't hurt as much.
Right.
I guess,
you kind of built the strength up.
I guess you build up the strength.
Yeah.
The third time it really doesn't hurt at all.
Right.
It's very interesting.
And you do max out to the depth. So whatever that person individually can handle with their skin, we look at what's going on in the immediate reaction to the skin while we're doing it. A good esthetician is going to be looking for details. And if you feel like that person's getting too red, you're going to stop at depth and go back to something. So
I know sometimes you'll pull back the strength when you do
certain areas too.
Yes. Now, I know when we were also discussing how you're going to do some permanent eyeliner on me, because I can never get my own eyeliner on. You know, you saw when you were putting it on me how distressing it was to me. And how I mentioned that my ballet teacher had put eyeliner on me, and I almost had like a PTSD moment. But you had also mentioned that when you do permanent eyeliner, that there is a kind of a bouncing back period.
Yes.
And so it's good that I'll be going on vacation afterwards, so no one will see me.
Right.
How long is that period after?
So I give it 6 weeks for it to do its little skin turnover. We like to check in with you in 8 and make sure that the color and pigment really did absorb the way that we wanted it to. And obviously we numb you first before we do that process. So it is a sticky gummy eye situation while we're tattooing. But yes, there's a 6 to 8 week healing process. The same thing you would do if you were doing the plasma pen. We like to get a checkup for the plasma pen too. So if you're removing any kind of skin tags or skin malformations that are not cancerous. And I do stress that we always encourage the person to have the impurity checked by a dermatologist first before we remove anything. But there is no tissue removed, so it actually just creates a scab with that, and you just heal.
It was healed. Yes,
you just heal on your own,
and then it lasts about 2 years.
It does.
Okay.
So, many people with the microblading and the permanent makeup can go even longer than that. It really just depends on the person's skin. So how their skin healed and how the pigment implanted. So some people's bodies do not like pigment and they don't hold it very well. So same thing as holding a curl. So they say, you know, certain hair doesn't hold curl, but some does. So
now you said you can also put on permanent lipstick.
Lip blush. Yes.
And that lasts 2 years also?
I would say, well, mine was done during COVID. I would say I'm just now seeing it fade to, it still look like I have a little bit there, but what's nice is when it fades, there's not these splotches and messiness behind it. Just evenly fades and softens.
And you can also put blush on the cheeks.
So that goes hand in hand with the studies of the foundation. Same thing. But yes, very exciting stuff. I would like to be able to serve that in that capacity, but I've got to research.
Okay.
Which brings me to the other point. My name is Natural Beauty Nook for a reason. I like to go the holistic, natural way. And the products that I carry are farmhouse fresh, which I love.
Yes. I have it on my face right now.
Yes. And Skin Scripts, which is an esthetician's product.
Yes.
And I also do C&D Pro Nails. And they all have scientific certificates for their products. They're more holistic and healthy.
Okay. Tabitha, I want us to do cheers.
Okay, I've got my water here.
This is from the Broken Horseshoe Winery, and Tabitha has water. Cheers.
Cheers.
I want to thank you.
Thank you
for coming on here. You have been, let's have a drink first. It's been wonderful having you on here with us, and I want to reiterate that Tabitha did my hair and my makeup today, and she is the person who takes care of my skin, my hair, my nails, everything. She takes care of it all, and she is an incredibly important part of my wellness plan. So thank you, Tabitha.
Thank you.